So in this video we have this beautiful lapis blue metallic Mk8 Golf R. And the cool part about this car is that I was at Winter EuroFest, and as I was backing my car into the show, I had a couple of guys walk up to me and said, "Hey man, I follow you on YouTube, really nice to meet you. Can you come quote my car because I'd like to get it done?" So I walked on over, saw this car, and gave him a brief quote. This guy reached out to me a couple weeks after EuroFest and said, "Hey, can we get this thing ready?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, drop it off." He came by, dropped it off, and here we are. Pretty cool story, really nice guy. Oh, I forgot Mk8s don't have a dang hood prop emulator. Hold on, yeah, I gotta do this manually now. Now, one really cool thing about his Mk8 R is that this thing is full bolt-on stage 2 Miltech exhaust downpipe, beautiful apex wheels on it, and I tell you, these Mk8s, man, it's not like the Mark 7 platform, which I still think is the elite platform, not Mark 7.5, I'm a little biased, sorry. Just a couple of bolt-ons and a stage 2 tune, I mean, you're talking well over the 400 horsepower range, and E85, you're going even more. Crazy what you can get out of these new 4th generation EuroTripper engines. I'm just being a Volkswagen nerd, and I like Golf Rs, just my thing. Done a bunch of them on the channel, done Mk8s, 7, 6s, did a Mark 4, 32, Mark 5. Oh, and these Mk8 brakes, they're 2 pop brakes instead of 1 big old pop brake like the Mark 7s. Maybe I can steal those off and swap them before he comes and picks up his car. Imagine.
stop. Your motherfucking hands and take your foot, let them snap. My nigga drop the gangsta beat it, he's a gangsta rap. Straight to the gun, the force, I'm cut the fuck up of you crap. I'm feeling this, feeling the lyrics, so nigga, this is really like that.
Alright, the Mark 8 is all ready for paint correcting. We got it washed up, decontaminated, and go figure the hatch was pretty much the only part of the car that was extremely contaminated. And then we wipe down with IPA and then go into a paint inspection. So this is going to be getting a two-step correction. It's going to be getting a full coating, and we're going to go through and do a couple things like the exhaust tips and maybe some extra stuff here and there just to have fun. As long as time permits, I'm not really too sure how far I want to go. Let's just see how far we get with the bare basics of correcting and coating. But the car's in beautiful condition. It's really nice. It's full bolt-on stage 2. And if you know anything about the Mark 8 generation, they make crazy power just being simple bolt-ons. It's an awesome car. Oh, and if you're wondering from the last video, the 8.5Y RS3, it's back here. It's right here behind me because it is getting a carbon grille insert. I don't know what they call it, the grille surround, carbon, whatever. It's going from the black to carbon. I don't know what the heck it's called. All right, we're doing stuff to it. There's also a carbon splitter off here to the side that I need to coat and get ready for it to go on the car for EuroTripper. And actually, you guys have probably already seen that because I waited to do the aftershots for the RS3 at EuroTripper. Listen, editing magic, all right? Whatever you saw last video hasn't happened yet. It doesn't matter, we're not worried about that. Okay, so Mark 8 time. Okay, we're gonna wipe it down with IPA, paint inspection, let's go. See, it's not really all that out of hand. It's actually pretty tame in terms of blemishes in the paint. It's not that bad. There's a couple of spots, I will say, like on the passenger rear door, he told me about this at the event, there's a little blotch of paint missing. I'm gonna go online and see if I can get a touch-up paint. If not, I got some local people who can definitely hook me up. I'll admit, some of these panels, like the hood for example, could be really hard to show you guys before and after on camera. I really hope that clip really showed it, but I promise you, it's a big difference. Looks great. The next day with the Golf R. This is day 2, day 3, whatever. We're gonna finish correcting today and then get into the refining stage today as well. Sorry if I seem a little off kilter. It's cold. It's supposed to snow tonight. Yeah. No. Before we start on this though, I'm gonna pull it out, turn it around, and bring it in face first, so that way we kind of have a different camera angle for things, but also makes it easier for me to move my lights around and see all the doors and whatnot. The only things really left to do in terms of cutting is the bottom part of the rear fender and then left and right side doors. Well, I guess, wow, we still have a lot to go actually. Okay. lapis blue metallic, beautiful color from Volkswagen. But I also said this is gonna be very hard paint, and it is. I've been working very aggressively with it, with heavy cut and the orange pad, spending a little extra time on the paint since Koch Chemie has a lot of play time. But as for the rear, this little part right down here, where the plate is the reason why I haven't taken the plate off yet. It's actually, boop. So when he was dropping off the car, I asked him specifically, is there anything I should know about the car before I start? And it was this part right here. You just flip this up, little magnet right here that holds it down. He cut this hole himself, he said, and put in that little trailer hitch, to tow hitch thingy. Pretty neat, honestly, not bad. Really clean cut, really clean trim piece, but I am gonna have to finger polish all around here. And that's really all that's left to do on the back, and then we can move towards the sides, the doors. I don't know what you call this on a Golf R or GTI, actually, I have no idea. Whenever I look at this though, little insider thing with my head, I call this the APR pillar, because back in the day, people would put a stupid piece of vinyl right here that said APR across it, and it looked really dumb. It's stupid. People used to do that all the time, it looked terrible. Most Volkswagens, especially Jettas, Golfs, Golf R, GTIs, all that. This little piece right here, where the roof panel joins with the pillar, this strip right here is the thinnest paint on all of these cars. So if you're gonna go through like me with a 2-inch pad to make everything nice and uniform and correct right here along the sideline, you gotta be very careful not to spend a lot of time really cutting away at this if you're cutting aggressively, because 2-3 years from now, even with it being coated and all, it's gonna start to oxidize and it's gonna start to have paint failure right here on this line. Ask me how I know with my own Golf. So just a little thing to note, be careful. All right, now that we're done cutting, we can move into the fun part, which is the refining stage and getting this thing to be crazy glossy and drippy wet looking. So we're gonna be using some yellow pads, of course, except for on the 2-inch. Now, when I work with a lot harder paint like Volkswagen, Audi, Mercedes, I like to continue using an orange pad, just for that little bit of bite action with whatever you're gonna be finishing, polishing with, you know what I mean? It doesn't have as much grit to it to get rid of any kind of micro marring. Anyways, for refining, we're gonna be using the Menzerna Super Finish Plus again. I'm really loving this stuff, and I also haven't put in another order for Perfect Finish, so that'd be the reason why we're not using Perfect Finish. Power just got cut. But the lights are still on. Oh, they're not on anymore. Okay. Yeah, because earlier, about an hour ago, I heard a massive bang, which sounded like a small tannerite boom boom. But, you know, probably just a transformer. And half the shop lost power. But it was like a low voltage surge kind of power, because like there was still some power to stuff. Ended up turning everything off, but this side was still good because it's on a totally different circuit. And now it's off. So I guess I can keep polishing in the dark as long as I can, or at least until my cordless ones need to be recharged, I guess. Well, for what it's worth, I do have a really big battery bank that takes USBs, and I can plug this in, I believe. Turn this on here, and then I have my little USB key light. Yeah, all right. Now I can actually do some work until all my polishers die, at least. Be pretty neat. So the power ended up not coming back on last night, so I came in here earlier today and finished up all the refining polish, which the car looks breathtaking. But everything came out great, it looks gorgeous, and now we're at the point where we can get this thing wiped down, do some toothpickery work right here with some isopropyl alcohol diluted 60/40, get all the nooks and crannies and crevices all cleaned out from polishing residue and dirt, whatever else might be left there. And then follow up with a ceramic coating, and yeah, cool.
Joy.